Okay. Good morning, Angela. How are you? How's it going? Tell me. Oh, okay, good.
Does that answer your question?
How is it going?
To be perfectly honest, it's not. It's there's so I don't want to go into all the details, but there's just so much going on, and it's just like complete overwhelm. And the your email in my inbox with my homework is still sitting there, and I haven't looked at it, and I know I need to. And um yeah, just there's just so many things going on, with
Okay.
staff changes and system changes and growth, and there's just so much going on. And
Yeah.
also I've absorbed a few people's workload whilst I'm trying to
Yeah.
get new staff, and we're changing our marketing strategy. And I'm not going to bore you with the details, but let's just say I'm a bit frazzled. um and and so yeah, I have to confess I haven't done my homework.
Shock. Gasp, as my
Slap me
15-year-old would
slap me on
say.
the wrist.
Gasp. Do you know what? I'm really glad you brought this up. And I think, do you know what? This is the reality of it, isn't it? I think there's this perception of this is what we're going to do, and we bring somebody in and we work with it and it just flows and all the rest of it. But running a business is it's really hard. There's so many plates to spin and keep going and things, and it's just this is completely normal, I need to say, and I think we need to normalize that this is how it can feel. Absolutely. And
To be honest, I'll tell you how I feel. I need the
yeah,
funding to get the company
yeah,
where I need to get to.
yeah,
I'm not finding the time to do the work to get the funding. And part of me just wants to give up on the whole lot because I feel
yeah,
like I'm never going to get there. Like this is just not
yeah,
going to happen. I need to spend because to do the homework and put everything in place that you've mentioned, that
yes,
takes time. It's
yeah.
time out of my day to day, which is already in overwhelm. So how do people do it?
So I guess what I've seen is they have to get really, really, really like, what is the most important thing I need to work on just now? And you've just told me it's the funding application. So then there's like, well, if I'm working on that, what else can I not get to? And who else can I give this work to? And right now you're saying actually there isn't anybody. So the step before that is I need to get somebody else in on a fractional basis. I need to outsource this. Is that a VA? Is that a more marketing? Is that, what is it that you need to give to somebody else? So I would say to anybody that's feeling like this is to actually just go, right, step back. What should I be working on? And it's the funding application because it's such a domino effect. So therefore, if I'm working on that and there's all these other things, who do I have that I'm already working with? You mentioned I happen to know that you have, some fractional resource. What can I give them on a short-term basis to help get me through this particular thing? What can I let go of?
I wish I could let
So,
go of everything and just focus on one thing, but that's
yeah,
just not the reality. It's nice in theory.
yeah,
Um, I think I'm trying to do that because that's the advice I would give anybody in my network.
yes,
Do what only you can do and outsource the rest.
yes,
One of my go-to sayings that I say to people. That's the advice I would give. That's the advice I need to take. Stopping things is another piece of advice that I often give people. If you want to
yep.
start something, you need to stop something.
Mhm.
And so I know what to do. I know all the advice I give. It's easy to give advice. It's figuring it out. The reality of it is just different, and so
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. I think it's definitely worth you sitting down, whether it's on your own or if you want to, you and I can workshop that at a separate session. There's maybe people watching this going, no, do it now. But I don't want to confuse it with the funding. But
Yeah.
equally, it's so important to, as you say, to have that thing. So I guess it's a case of what I was saying, you know this is writing down the tasks. Now, the first thing is you will feel utter overwhelm even just looking at that list because you'll be like, oh my actual goodness, how am I going to get through that? But then it's about going, okay, what can I actually let go? And it is that classic, if I didn't do this, what would happen? If I didn't do it. So it's that kind of what is going to move my business forward in a massive way, what is actually just servicing my business. And if things fall into the just servicing, give it away. Just don't even think about it. Just give it away. So if it's, and I, you said you don't want to go into the details, so I'm going to just come up with some examples. If it's literally, I need to get some cash forecasting done, give that to your accountant. That's what they do, or a bookkeeper. If it's, I've got some invoicing that I need to get to, give that to somebody that can do that for you. Even if you're just saying, can I pay you for 2 hours work so that you can get those invoices out the door for me?
Makes sense.
You've got people. And I'm going to say something. You are running a women's business club. You have how many members who do how many things? You could go to any one of those people and say, I have this thing going on just now. Can I have half a day of your time and you deal with this for me as a standalone? And what I mean is those are the things that if they need to happen, but you don't need to do them. If there's things that don't need to happen, park it. Just leave it. If there's things that absolutely have to happen, right, I have to put some resource into this. And then what am I doing? So you're prioritizing the whole lot. And what I've done is I've done a list like that. And sometimes I just put a line through halfway down the list. And anything below that list, I bin it. Because here's the thing, it's like emails. If you don't get to an email of something that's not, vitally important to your business, guess what? People email you again. How many times have we seen
That's
this?
true.
I'm
That's
just
true.
bumping this up to the top of your
Yeah, that's so true. I'm just trying to find your email now. I'm trying to find my homework email in the sea of emails here. There we go. I found it.
Yeah.
I've opened it.
Yeah, great. Yeah, good. So, it is about that. And it's really difficult to do this without a concrete example. So anybody watching this might be going, oh, well, this isn't helping. But what I would say is, I'm happy to, if anybody's watching this, I'm happy for them to come to me and we will just, spend a couple of hours and I'll invoice them simply for a couple of hours of my time. It doesn't have to be high level. It's just right. Let's get this list. Let's prioritize that. If that gets you moving, let's get some actions done. So that might be something that we can do aside from this.
Yeah.
So have a think about that because I do it myself and I get my clients to do it. Once they start to go, oh, I've got this and I've got this and I've got this and I've got this. And once you start to break down what's really important, what's going to move your business forward, what's going to be revenue generating for you, as opposed to just servicing the business.
Yeah.
I always say to people, if it's just servicing it, delegate it, give it to somebody else. If you've got people on the books and say, look, I know this isn't normally what you do, could you give me an hour of your time just to help me do this little bit of admin? That would be really great. It's not your role. I don't want to change your role, but if you could just do that, that would be amazing. Use the resources
I'm
that you
thinking I
have.
might do is I might just block out funding time in my diary and that's set aside time.
And then that was my next thing is how do you then, if funding is the number one thing, what do you need? You need time to do it. So people think they have, so I'm not a time management specialist, but what I do know is people think that they have a time problem. No, they have an activity management problem.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So what are the activities that are going to get you the funding and get you the revenue that you need? Because you're at that critical point. And it's interesting. I'm doing a lot of talking now. I do apologize for doing a lot of talking, but what's sparking in me here is that I'm a heart-driven, purpose-driven entrepreneur, and that is why I exist to do what I do. However, if I don't get my business in order. I can't do that for my clients
Mm,
because I wouldn't have a business. So I
yes.
have to get the revenue earning and the sales generating and the priority items done so that I can help you, so that I can be still in business to go, right, Angela, how can I next help you? What else do you, what help? I want to be of service to you. How can I help you?
Mm, mm.
So um, that's still being purpose driven. But if I don't get the money bit right, or I don't get the service bit right, or I don't get the admin bit right, in order to have a business, I can't help you. So what is it that you need to do to keep your business afloat the most so that you can help the women in your community?
Yeah. Well, I think this call in between the main sessions helps because now I've opened the email, I've opened the document, I've got it open. I know that sounds ridiculous. That sounds
No.
so silly, but
Mm.
just that step now, I feel like, okay, I can get my head in the game and I can,
Yeah.
chip away at this. But when the email inbox is just continuous emails coming in and you have to like
Mhm,
play
mhm,
tennis with them and bat them away,
mhm,
and then you think, okay, I still have time to get to that one, and then you leave it, and then you run out of time. That's kind of the position I'm in now, but now that it's open and the Google Doc you sent me is open, I'm like, okay, I've got to prioritize this.
mhm,
I think that
mhm.
little kick, that little nudge, it
Yeah.
helps. So
Mhm,
maybe I just need maybe I don't know, smaller weekly, maybe an email saying, have you done this one thing? I know it
mhm.
sounds so silly. It sounds like I'm a baby that needs to be bottle fed, but that's
No,
honestly how I feel. Just have I done this one thing? Feels like I can cope. Have I done this whole list of things? I can't even do the first thing. It's a mindset thing. I know. I'm sounding like a big baby today. Sorry.
no, you're not. And I've taken, look, I've written it down, I've written the action is, and you know what? This is about how can I help you? So let's turn this around. What can I do to help you move this funding thing forward? Because what we need to explain to people watching this is very much a it's a consulting in the sense of I'm telling you what you need to do, and it's coaching in the sense of how can I help you get to where you want to be.
Mm,
Um, and this is because you are doing the work. What I will say, and I'm not saying this is the answer for you, is this sometimes prompts people to go, do you know what? Actually, can you just do this for me?
yeah, yeah.
Because actually that's what you specialize in. So anybody watching this, I would say, if you have somebody in your wheelhouse that can actually do this for you or work with you on this, not just doing the consulting or coaching, then I would say it's definitely worth that investment. And people, if you talk to them, they will run on some don't not all run just on a pure fee basis. Some run on a fee plus a success fee basis. Negotiate, ask, because if you don't ask, you can't ever have the conversation. And if you are working on a consultancy coaching basis, as we are here, what is it that you need that consultant coach to do in order to help you? And you've just said, actually, just a little bit more regular prompts. People watching this might be saying, why isn't she emailing before? Well, that's because we thought at the start having our monthly session plus a fortnightly check-in would be enough. So
Mm,
it's about that adjustment, amendment, and making sure that it works for you. So I
mm,
can
mm.
absolutely prompt. And if you
A
feel
weekly,
that weekly check-in might be better.
but not just a check-in, but a weekly.
Yeah.
So this is what would help me if you really
Mhm.
want to dumb it down,
Yeah.
is a weekly email saying, have you done this? And then naming the action, right? Not just how are you
Right.
getting on, because that might prompt, that might kick me a little bit, but have you completed, and then one action, just one action, not the whole list of actions.
Mhm.
I know I think somebody watching this must think this is so silly unless you're in my shoes and then you relate to it. You just
Yeah.
need a bit of hand holding, not because you're not capable, but because there's so many things going on. And it's nice to
Yes.
just have a little extra help with this thing because it's so
Mm-hmm.
important.
Mm-hmm.
So I think breaking it down to one task, and accountable for one task at a time, I think that will really push me and help me get there faster. And then also for each task, I can always ask myself the question, is there anyone that can help me with this? Because to be
Yes.
honest, what you just said makes so much sense. I think I would do much better if I weren't doing this alone. I have experts on my board. I have experts in my network, as you said. I'm surrounded by amazing, phenomenal women. I think I forgot to take my own advice and just see if there's anyone who can help me.
Yeah.
I'm so used to, you know, the typical business exchange. How much can I pay you to do this, which is absolutely acceptable. But sometimes I just need some help, and we can always talk about how we work out the money later. I just need, you know, more about picking someone's brain or having somebody's viewpoint on something, just a small bit of help rather than actually buying into their complete services. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, a sounding board. There we go. I just need a few
sounding board
that are willing
absolutely
to allow me to ask a few questions.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, that's exactly what a women's business club is for, and our mastermind boardroom. I know I mentioned that earlier. That's exactly what that is about, you know. And so I just need to get in one of my own groups, I think.
That's it. Yeah, go to one of your own masterminds. Because, and that's the other thing is, I would say to anybody watching this, is if you are part of a mastermind group, whether it's a finance one, whether you have a sales coach, whether you have, you know, just a group of businesses that get together on a monthly basis, there's usually an opportunity in there to be hot seated, as we call it, you know. So, you know, Angela, what's going on with you? That's a fantastic, and the Chatham House rules apply. For anybody that doesn't know what that phrase means, it means what is said in those meetings is completely confidential and it does not go beyond that meeting. But it means that the people in the room can be completely honest, which I think as business owners, we need that safe space to say that. So what we're going to do then is for today, today's session is taking a slightly different tack. So what we're going to do is you and I are going to put some time aside. We're going to put another session in, and we are going to work on these two tasks together. Okay. Because that, you know, so I will be your sounding board to start with. And we will work on these two tasks together because it's really important that you start to pull together the stats, that you start to write your own story, and we can start to pull this together. And the other thing is what we'll do is we'll actually start to drop some information into the template that we had so that you can start to see the progress, because I think seeing progress is really important.
Yeah, so, I think that's the other thing. To see it come alive a bit more would be encouraging. It would also feel like we're getting somewhere, which would be good.
Yeah, and start to create the deck. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So we'll stop the session here for today. We'll organise another time offline because this was just a quick check-in session, and I know that you've got things that you need to go off and do. But again, for anybody watching this, I am really glad that we did something different than what we were planning to do. And thank you for your honesty on this, because I'm sure when people watching this are going, oh, thank God she said that. You know.
Yeah, it's easier just to say I'm fine, everything's fine, but actually it's so not the real world, is it?
Yeah. All right.
Thank you for your help, Eddie.
Yeah. So I will send you through a couple of suggestions, and we'll get together and we will work on this this next bit together. And then that way you get that sounding board that you're looking for. And we can also identify who else might be able to help you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Have a fantastic day, and I will send through some dates.
All right. Thanks.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.